Hi, my name is Taylor, and this is my makeup magazine. So, I chose to do a makeup magazine. I was very inspired by makeup. Nowadays, the makeup community is very different. There's a bunch of YouTubers that do makeup. There's a bunch of celebrities making makeup lines, stuff like that. My magazine also started out with the masthead of Throw a Little Shade. I really love this name. It was super creative. It was very different for a type of lifestyle makeup magazine because it was such a long title. Usually titles of these types of magazines had one or two words, so I thought that was super different. But then I came to the realization that Throw a Little could have been my cell line. So instead, my magazine masthead is just Shade. Now this is a little different than normal magazines because cell lines aren't as popular as they once were. I thought this was super different and would definitely stand out against magazines that are similar to mine. I think it's super interesting to have these types of magazines because they're becoming big trends, especially online. YouTubers have stuff like this and it's all online. Why not have something in print? So that's why I chose to do this magazine. I haven't really ever seen a makeup magazine like this, so I want to do something different than normal, so that's why it's kind of a blend between makeup and lifestyle. It's mostly focused on makeup. It definitely has lifestyle characteristics throughout the magazine. So my magazine engages with an audience of 18 to 35. I chose this span of audience because those are the people using social media daily. Those are the people watching makeup tutorials on YouTube, stuff like that. So that's definitely the audience I wanted to go to, especially since makeup has become a really big trend online. So I wanted to follow that trend. I wanted to keep my cover super bright and inviting to really stand out against the rest, because usually magazines have a lot of black and dark colors. So when I edited the background photo, I tried to edit out and lessen most of the black shades because I really wanted this to stand out. And that's why I kept all the text colors on my cover super bright and nothing darker than that pink that outlines the top 10 beauty influencers of 2018. So I wanted this to be really fun and bright and really stand out against a normal magazine type thing. And I would like to distribute this both online and in store. I want to appeal to my younger audiences, so more in the 18 to 24 range, because they're super tech savvy and those type of people are always on their phones, always online. For my older audiences, about 25 to 35, I just imagine my cover with a glossy page. I want this to be really a high-end read, and I really want that to apply to my older audiences. I didn't really know what I was doing for my pictures, and they came out super dark. They were framed weird. I was super worried, and it was so hard to focus my camera. My pictures just kept coming out blurry. I actually used Lightroom to edit my photos, and that has helped so much. This was my first time ever using Lightroom, and I was super worried. I never used any type of photo editing thing ever before, so I was super worried, especially since I didn't love how my pictures came out, but I just went with it, and Lightroom was amazing. It definitely made my photos exactly how I wanted them to look, and that definitely helped with my overall magazine, because I feel without Lightroom, I wouldn't have gotten the type of look I wanted for my magazine. My new knowledge of using Lightroom has definitely helped this project a lot, so Lightroom was definitely a big help. And also I used Photoshop to edit all of my spreads for this, and I've been using Photoshop for 3 years now, and my Photoshop skills have improved since doing this project and since using it for all these years. Also, comparing my first photo shoot, so I did 2 separate photo shoots for this project. I did one for my cover page and for my double page spread and my table of contents. And definitely my table of contents and double page spread photo shoot turned out a lot better. I looked up online how to light my shoots. At first I used natural lighting for my cover page, and that turned out well, especially after I edited the photos, but definitely wasn't the best idea. And when I started taking pictures for my double page spread and table of contents, it was definitely harder because my pictures, they weren't really turning out well because I was losing daylight. I was taking pictures at 7:30 and it was getting really dark, and so I couldn't utilize the natural light because it was going away. So I ended up using a lamp, and that actually turned out fantastic. They were a lot easier to edit, I'd say, than my magazine cover, so I was really happy about that. And actually using both natural and artificial light were very useful even after deciding only to use natural. So definitely the use of lighting has definitely improved. My photography skills have definitely gotten better. For this project, I used a bunch of different mediums. So I started with my layout on a piece of loose leaf paper with a pencil. I just drew it out exactly how I imagined it. So I used that as my first inspiration for my project, and then I went to go taking photos and using my Nikon camera to take these photos, and that was definitely a struggle because I've never really used my camera for pictures. I definitely learned from that, and that definitely got better. And for my magazine cover, I used a pink poster board with some fake flowers on it, and to achieve this I got some fake flowers. They all came on stems, but I didn't want the stems, I just wanted the flower. So I learned a trick to just pull off the top of it and it comes right off the top of the flower. So that was super helpful. I used that, and then I also used Lightroom for the first time in this project. I've seen online how like a lot of people like Lightroom, and I was unsure about using it because I've never used it before, but I thought I'd give it a shot. A few weeks before I started my photo shoot, I learned how to use Lightroom with some tutorials online, and it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. And definitely when I started editing like my actual photos, it got better. I even made my own preset for my project to easily edit my photos, and that definitely helped. So I used that, and I also used Photoshop a lot for my project. That was mainly what I used to edit all my spreads, and that was definitely a great idea because I love how my spreads came out. They came out exactly how I imagined it. Even after changing ideas, my table of contents and double page spread both changed from what I originally wanted when I first started planning out my layouts. On my cover page, it was definitely the only one that's exactly the same as I originally imagined it and drew it on my piece of paper. And I also used Blogger for the first time to keep track of what I was doing, to organize my thoughts for this project, and to pre-plan everything, every single step I did for this project. So that was definitely useful. And I'm super happy with how this turned out. And it definitely has to deal with the emerging makeup community because it's becoming such a popular trend on social media and stuff like that, especially YouTube and Instagram. I thought putting this on paper would be a really great idea for my project.